We welcome you to Sports Talk. I'm Ted Emrich. Most years in each sport, McKinney ISD sends multiple teams to the playoffs, but there aren't many sports in which all three schools qualify. Last year, softball was one of them. Boyd, North, and McKinney all advanced. In fact, Boyd won its first playoff series in school history, while North and McKinney kept their postseason streaks alive. This year, all three teams working towards the same goal, and we'll sit down with the coaches as they get set for district play. Also coming up, the Dennis Baker State Farm Scholar Athlete of the Week. This is Sports Talk. McKinney Lionettes are in their sixth year under head coach Jeremy Greenway, who joins us now, and Jeremy 6-6 through 12 games so far. But for a team that has only two seniors on the varsity roster, you rely on several underclassmen. I'm sure you've seen remarkable progress here in non-district.
Yeah, definitely so. So far, we're kind of where we thought we might be, as we head into district a week from now. We've had some hiccups and some minor things that we've had to work on, and the girls are, the team's coming together.
You've been through a couple of tournaments, one at Forney, one at South Lake Carroll. What catches your eye about those two events and how your team performed there?
We started out with Forney, and we played pretty shaky the entire tournament. And then we just got finished with South Lake Carroll's tournament, and we played much better. Probably, in my 6 years at McKinney, probably the best turnout for a tournament. Overall, we played 6 games, and it's, the girls, it really looks like they're coming together about when they need to.
And Jeremy, that tournament included a standout victory over state powerhouse Frisco Wakeland. This after you lost to Wakeland to open the season 2-1. You paid them back in the Carroll tournament 8-7 in extra innings. And there's a lot to take just from the loss to open the season, playing them so well early, but to come back a week later and finish them off, it had to be a big step for your team.
Yeah, the girls definitely know that Wakeland's one of those teams that you have to play well to beat. And when you do, everybody else in the Metroplex says, well, Wakeland got beat. And ultimately, it came down to our girls found a way to win that game. So that's a big win.
Courtney Derrick had a double and a triple in that victory over Wakeland. I remember going back to her freshman year, you said you liked the raw talent that Courtney had. How's she putting it together as a junior now?
She's done really well. She's one of those kids that plays a lot of ball, and she's seen a lot of pitches in her lifetime, and she's really maturing. She's really becoming that upperclassman that you want out on the field. And with her, it's nice because she's so versatile. She can do so many different things offensively. So she's definitely have stepped up to the plate this year.
Jeremy, these last few years, it just wouldn't be McKinney without someone named Thomas starring for you. Go back to Ashley, and she's in her second year at Georgia Tech at shortstop. And now Chelsea Thomas, her younger sister, in the circle for you, District Newcomer of the Year last season, going 13-14 in ERA, just under 4. What do you like about Chelsea now as a sophomore?
Chelsea is a year older than she was last year, but, I think mentally she's 3 or 4 years older than she was last year. And, she's working hard, and she's, this past weekend, my assistant Terry Drain and I think we're going to maybe start calling her Seabiscuit. Kind of get on the horse and let's see what we can do. And it seems like the more we work her, the better she gets. And she has improved her speed quite a bit, and we've added another pitch to what she had last year. So, defensively she's doing really well, and then, offensively she's got a pretty big stick. And I think, another week and a half or so, she's going to probably be right where she needs to.
Chelsea put up a school record 45 RBIs last season. I was going to ask you, how does she compare to Ashley with the stick in her hands?
They're a little bit different. Ashley had the speed, and Chelsea's not slow, but she's definitely not, the speedy type. So she's got her stick's a little bit bigger than Ashley's. She hits more doubles and triples and home runs than what Ashley did. But offensively, they both get the job done.
Alyssa Fontius in her 4th year as a starter for you, one of those 2 seniors that we mentioned, along with your second baseman, Lauren McQuestion. And Fontius has played just about everywhere for you in her career. Now she's at catcher, replacing the departed Meredith Baker. And Fontius, speaking of a stick, .456 average a year ago. What is Alyssa doing for you here in her senior year?
Yeah, right now we're still kind of working on some of the offensive lineup and trying to get some consistency to what we may do next week when we start district play. Alyssa's been leading off for us most of the year. You know, she has a good eye for the ball. You know, she's able to give us some good at-bats. And, you know, she just, you know, we talk a lot at McKinney High School about being a team player and what it means to truly commit and be selfless to the goals that we want. And she's been all over that since I've known her. So, you know, she just brings that thing that you need for your team, and she's going to be big for us in district play.
And Alyssa is not the only Fontius on this roster. Her younger sister Chrissy starts for you at shortstop. Got to be a cool dynamic between those two, and I know you expect a lot from Chrissy in her 4-year career that's just getting started.
Yeah, Chrissy's one of those players, you know, kind of like the Courtney Derrick, you know, a couple of years ago, just all the raw talent. And, you know, Chrissy is really smooth with what she does, and, you know, she has a good eye for the ball just like her sister and understands the game really well, you know, which will, as she matures and becomes a little bit more physical with her play, you know, she's going to be a dominant threat.
You've got Pilot Point coming up Tuesday, then the 18th annual McKinney ISD tournament starting Thursday, lasting through the weekend, non-district winding down. More than anything, what do you want to see from your team this week?
You know, really we're looking for some consistency. You know, this past weekend we played really well at South Lake, and we want to be able to see if we can't put together 6 or 7 just good games, you know, good ball, and see if we can't get ready for next Wednesday.
How does this district shape up in 10-4A?
You know, it's going to be a little tougher than it was last year. I think there's, you know, the top 5 teams. I think it's going to be a fight for, you know, those 4 spots, and definitely, the team that ends up on top will definitely have played good competition in district play. So, I mean, it's going to be a fight.
Jeremy, we appreciate it. I'm sure your team's prepared for that fight.
Yeah, we are.
Jeremy Greenway, head coach of the McKinney Lionettes. They have been in that top 4 of district play each of the last 3 years. They're looking for a 4th straight trip as district play gets underway next week.